Hey everyone, Dan Saavedra here from mergedata.com. Today we're going to dive into how you can make a custom object in HubSpot using the Make platform. So it's a really straightforward process. It's easy to do even if you don't know how to code. Obviously, it is always useful to know how to code and how to interact with data formats like JSON. We're just going to walk through that entire process right now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to HubSpot here, and I'm going to click up here on my settings. I'm going to scroll down, click on integrations on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to click on private apps over here. So just remember that HubSpot has deprecated the API keys, so we'll want to use private apps instead. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on create a private app. I'm going to give this a name, and so I'm going to do make custom object example. If you want to upload a logo, you can. If you want to provide a description, you can as well. Then I'm going to go over here to scopes. And for this example, I'm just going to grant access to all of the scopes here just to give this integration full power. Because in Make, we will be interacting with all parts of the API. For this one, I will grant access for every single thing here. I'm going to pause the video just so I can select. Now I've selected all of these scopes here for this private app. Best security practices are to only grant your private app access that it actually needs to do API calls that you're looking to get done. And so for this example, I granted everything so that Make can do everything for us with this private app. Like I said, make sure that you actually need the scopes that you're selecting, otherwise they shouldn't be selected. Now I'm going to go up here and click on create app. And then HubSpot's going to pop up this warning right here. But basically we're just going to click on continue creating. And now it says that our private app was created. And so we have this key, this token. I'm going to show the token and then click on copy. And so now we have this token value. And so we're going to go back to Make here. And once we're in Make, we're going to click on create a scenario in the upper right hand corner. So we'll have this new scenario and we're going to click on this plus button. And then we're going to search for a module called HTTP. And then we're going to make a request. And so now we have this blank template that we have to fill out in order to make a request to HubSpot to define our custom object. And so on this API doc page, we have the details that we need in order to create a custom object. I'm going to scroll down here to an example. And so you can see here that we have the actual endpoint that we need to copy. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to Make and I'm going to put that in the URL. I'm going to change this method to a post because we're sending information to HubSpot. And then I'm going to click on add a header here. And this is where we need to add the token from our private app. And so I'm going to go back to another example here. We have the authorization is the name of the header. And so I'm just going to copy that and go back to that name. And then for this value, the format that we need to put this in is bearer. And then we need to paste our token value here. And so I'm going to go back to the private app. And obviously we already copied it, but I'm just going to copy it again. And then I'm going to go over to my Make scenario and just paste that in here. And so obviously, since I'm showing you this on a video, I'm going to deactivate that token afterwards. From a security standpoint, no one else can use that. And so now we have the authorization header in there. And so all we have to do is create our actual request body. And so I'm going to go and click on raw. I'm going to click on the drop down for content type and select JSON. And then this is where we need to put the actual body content. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this example from the documentation just to create the sample custom object. And so this custom object's name is cars. The label for singular is car, and then plural is cars. And so what HubSpot does is they use this terminology to show you the custom object inside of HubSpot so that it makes sense, so that you're not referring to the singular and saying cars, you're not referring to the plural and saying just car. And so this exists for each of these properties here. You can dictate the label, you can dictate the field type, and then you can customize things from there. So you can set the required properties, the searchable properties, the primary display properties, and that's what will be created in HubSpot. And so I'm just going to copy that really quickly by hitting this copy button. I'm going to go back to make, and then I'm going to paste that in there. So you can see that this information is all in here. Like I said, you can go ahead and customize each of these with the properties that you're looking to create for your custom object. I'm going to delete this comment up top. I'm going to go down here and also add in additional associated objects. So I'm just going to put a comma, then I'm going to put deal, and then I'm going to put ticket as well. And then I'm just going to hit OK. And so now this request is set up, and I can either just run the entire scenario by clicking on this play button, or I can right click the module, click on run this module only, and then you'll see it spinning, and then we'll get the result. And so we'll click on this bubble up top in the right. We'll see the status code is a 201. We'll see the data returned is from HubSpot here, basically confirming the success and telling you information about the object that's created. And so if I go back to the documentation, you can see that this is the example response body. So this is what the success message looks like. And so that's what we received. So if we go back to HubSpot here, click on X for that window that was up, and we go back to our contacts and then click on the drop down for contacts, you'll see that we have cars right here now in our custom objects. And so we created that using Make. And we can even go into the settings here in HubSpot, scroll down to our custom objects, and you see that we're in the cars object right now. And so now you can customize that custom object further. You can change the create car form. You can go over to record customization and change the right sidebar, the left sidebar, pretty much anything you can do in a standard object. And now this will also be available in workflows and reporting and everything else that goes with custom objects. So this was a quick walkthrough on how to create custom objects in HubSpot using Make. Hopefully you guys found this useful. If there are other videos that you want to see or other questions you have about HubSpot and Make, make sure to send us an email or comment on the video. Thanks for watching.